Hello, this is Shane from after he got done filming the video. Just to let you know, I forgot to say spoilers for the entirety of the movie in the title of this video. Bye. How's it going, guys? My name's Shane. Welcome back to the Horror Basement. And today I have another movie from the Netflix horror selection to talk about with y'all today. So recently I went on Netflix looking for a horror movie to watch. I picked one completely blind, one that I had never heard of before, went in knowing essentially nothing about this movie other than that cellos were involved, and was honestly really, really pleasantly surprised. So today, we're going to be talking about The Perfection from 2018. This movie begins with our main character, Charlotte. Unfortunately, Charlotte's mother has just passed away after what appears to be a long stint of health problems and being in hospice care. And of course, upon the death of her mother, Charlotte does what any reasonable young woman would do, which is to decide to get back in the cello game, of which she was a child prodigy prior to her mom's health problems, and that takes her to Taiwan. Now, Charlotte's going to Taiwan to meet up with Anton and Paloma Backoff, who are the proprietors of Backoff Academy, where she was trained when she was a child. And they introduce her to Elizabeth, or Lizzie, who became their star pupil or protege after Charlotte left to go help take care of her mother. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, this is going to be a movie about two bitter rivals going up against each other. But after Charlotte and Lizzie do a duet performance on their cellos together, they immediately hit the club and then go back to, I guess, Lizzie's hotel room and have sex. So at this point, I'm like, why is this cello-based lesbian romance film in the horror section of Netflix? But the film quickly takes a turn when Charlotte and Lizzie decide to go on a day trip in China or Taiwan, wherever they are. And Lizzie's not feeling too well, and while they're on a bus heading through the countryside, Lizzie begins to vomit up pulsating, glowing maggots. And because of this, they quickly get kicked off the bus, where bugs start emerging from Lizzie's arm, and she has no choice but to cut off her own hand. So at this point, I'm like, this is going to be one of them Contagion-type movies, where there's this epidemic going around, and these two characters who we just saw, spark this relationship up, they're going to have to fight their way through the Chinese wilderness and, find a hospital or whatever. But that does not end up being the case, and we get the first of this movie's two freeze frame backtracks, where basically rewind through the last 20 minutes of the movie, and we see that the bugs and the contagion were not actually real, and Charlotte has been feeding Lizzie a steady diet of psychoactive drugs, and has basically just tricked her new girlfriend into cutting off her own hand. And Charlotte then leaves Lizzie there, bleeding and injured in the Chinese countryside. And we cut to a while later, and Lizzie, now sans her right hand, I believe, is back at Backoff Academy with Anton and Paloma. And seeing as you cannot play the cello single-handedly, because it is a very large instrument, she is promptly kicked out of the academy, because essentially if she cannot play the cello, she's no use to them. And Lizzie responds to this by going to Charlotte's house, tasing her, beating the shit out of her, and kidnapping her to bring back to Anton. And it's basically at this point in the movie where we realize that Anton Anton and the Academy itself was the real villains all along, and we get the backstory about the Perfection, the title of the movie. So there's this place in the Academy called the Chapel, which is a room that has perfect acoustics. So if you fuck up even a single note, Anton will be able to hear it. And this is part of how he trains his star pupils, is he makes them play this song, The Perfection, in the chapel, and if they mess up a note, then their punishment and, content warning, then Anton and the other instructors at the Academy rape the young students. So it's basically you're forced to play perfectly under the threat of punitive rape. And we're shown that that's what is about to happen to Charlotte. She's forced to once again play the Perfection, except this time Anton says if she messes up this time, Anton will do the punishment to his new star pupil, who is a 10 or 11-year-old girl. And Charlotte does miss a single note after playing what's really a beautiful song. And we think that she is about to be punished, but then the second and more kind of less surprising, more foreseeable twist happens. We get the second Backtrack, to where it turns out that Charlotte and Lizzie talked it out after Lizzie beat the fuck out of Charlotte. And Charlotte explains that she really does love Lizzie, and that she knew that Lizzie had went under the same, sexual assault or torture that she had, because they were both star pupils. And Charlotte had actually forced Lizzie to cut off her own hand so that Anton would abandon her, to basically break her out of the system and give her a shot at freedom. So this has all been a setup on the back-offs from Charlotte and Lizzie has drugged the other instructors and Anton and Paloma. So Lizzie frees Charlotte, and the movie comes to a head with both of them confronting Anton, and they have a giant, gory, climactic fight at the end. So overall, I was really impressed with this movie. Not only with the the freeze frame backtracking stuff, the movie as a whole is really beautifully shot and has a super energetic and punchy editing that makes it really a fun watch. And the two main actresses, Allison Williams, who plays Charlotte, and Logan Browning, who plays Lizzie, give extremely emotional, hard-hitting, believable performances, which kind of grounds the movie with some of its more unlikely and fantastical elements, like the psychedelic drugging and the kidnapping and the hardcore cello politics and all that. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I went in completely blind, so the first half of this movie, I was really wondering what the hell I was watching. But overall, I really enjoyed this, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and give it a watch. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button to see more from me, and I'll see y'all in the next one.